Hello, welcome. Hey. Hello, guys. John Twitch. Hello, hello, guys. Welcome back. Again, I made mistake, stupid mistake out of nothing. Yeah, little warm up before Bobby Fischer's second part. Hello, hello. Hope no issues anymore with my microphone. Day very cold day. Yeah, here also. Okay. I cannot make mistake with Ace of Base. Come on. Here, I guess. Take or take two. Each one. E2, E3, and King H4. Take. What? It's game problems with my microphone. It's incredible. Hello, hello. About King H1. It should take. I don't understand. Why? I want to take it. Okay. You don't hear music, for example. Yet. You don't hear music. Really? 1 second. You don't hear music and don't hear what I'm talking. What the hell? I mean, what's wrong with this microphone? I didn't touch anything. Why it's not works? And now, do you hear me or not? Yeah, but now when I start music, you don't hear it. Incredible. Okay, I don't have any idea. I cannot listen music or what? What the hell is this? I mean, it's just incredible. Something wrong with my filters or what? Yeah, probably, but when I'm not talking, it thinks it's noise. All right, then I will not start music. What can I do? I mean, I cannot listen even music. I mean, so now you hear me or not? Now everything okay? All right. And when I start music, you don't hear no music and no my voice, right? Incredible. What kind of settings is set up? I mean, very strange. I definitely need to change something in my filters. Anybody knows anything about OBS filters and this stuff? Or better don't touch? Queen a1, Queen a4, I guess. How he's going to defend this? Yeah, but I mean, to solve this without music, it's, I don't know, so boring. And Queen c8, bro. Best solution. Sick. Ah, I forget about Queen d4 move. Forget about this move. Yeah, today I'm really not in shape, probably. Just don't see easy moves like Queen d4, I mean. Because Queen a4 was solution of a4, g3, and just take, right? And oh, by the way, and Biden-Trump elections, who win? I didn't find any information. Oh, what I'm doing? I mean, knight c7, I don't see this bishop. I mean, yeah, something wrong, really wrong with me. I mean, knight c7, just take this bishop. I mean, just still not the results or what? Five rook six. Thank you for following, Joseph. Hello. I made so much stupid mistakes out of nothing. Pavlovich, hello. There's one question. Recommend our repertoire online games versus our post. Yes, if online tournaments benefits. I mean, if you play for some good prizes, of course. If not, then why to show ideas? Catch the catch the queen. Knight c2, b2, knight d1, knight d4, then rook 8. 12 points. Take this. What do we have? Up. We are greedy and we don't give it. I don't see what's problem with. Hello, Megan. Just incredible. I cannot listen music. Yeah. Once I start it, you don't hear me. But actually, why I have to talk? Maybe I don't need to talk. Yes, I put a filter which because now you don't hear the sounds from outside, right? There's a dog barking. I don't know, constructions working, cars are riding. You don't hear anything, right? So you hear them. That's why. But for some reason, when I start music, you don't hear me. I don't know why. Noise cancellation is excellent. This mic very strong. Yeah. So you don't hear anything, right? That's a good sign. Before you hear everything. Now you don't hear anything. My window is wide open. Ogipe, a million times told you before it's Fischer's book, My 60 Games. I mean, why it's so important? For which book I'm using? Five. You're welcome. It's simply bad move. Takes and check and take this rook. But queen g5. My idea. 3. Fischer Bobby, no, you don't miss. I did not start yet. I just solving these leeches, making a lot of mistakes out of nothing. Like a warm up before that. So what we're supposed to do here? Queen e2 maybe? 2 I guess. Because this rook has to be protected. Hello, how much is GM Ray? GM Ray Robson. Yes, we know our variation, of course. Exactly that game. Practice. Much stronger. Ah, he cannot protect. Ah, he can just perpetual. sick. Minus 50 from start of the day. What? Again no sound. What, are you kidding me or what? Afraz. Don't Twitch. Again no sound or what? I don't understand what the hell with this microphone. I was working perfectly 2 days, and what happened yesterday? I didn't touch, did not change anything. Nothing. Why you don't hear me? I just really don't understand. Not only today. It started last night. Last night started the problems from out of nothing, and I did not change anything. Okay, let me try to change something in my settings. I don't know what to do actually. I don't have any idea what to do. If I change something, maybe it will be only worse. So I just don't wanna, I just don't wanna make it even worse. It's like you hear me and then you don't hear me, or what? The sound disappears, or what? What kind of problems? I don't understand. Where is filter? My internet is okay. No changes, please. Ah, you also hear my dog? That's a bad sign. Yes, filters probably makes problems. I go to filters. What is going on here? So if anybody knows anything, knows about filters, for example, I have noise suppression on minus 30 dB and suppression level on half. Yeah, but it's supposed not to be sound of dog for sure. Before it was never. I just don't know. Compressor. Okay, I just don't know. Really, I don't know. I better don't touch. Probably nobody knows in chat what exactly to do. Just talking too much. Give me advice instead of talk about my. If you know something, what to change. What to change. I understand there is a problem, but nobody gives advice. Any advice? I mean, just talking that I have problem. I understand already. Give me some advice. What to do? I go to filters and tell you what I have here. Noise suppression on minus 30 dB. Noise gate minus 3200 dB. Open threshold on minus 2500 dB. So compressor, for example, it's ratio to 1000. Threshold minus 1800 dB. So I have to change this or what? What am I supposed to do? Yeah, but I don't like that it periodically changes, yeah? Something wrong with microphone. No, it should supposed to be not any other sound. It should supposed to be only this maximum 2 or 3 meters diapason of my room. You should not hear dog, definitely. Before, like 2 days ago, you hear nothing. And it was a lot of noises here. Kids was screaming, everything, but anybody knows technical side or not? Of course not. Okay. Let's be like that. What can I do? Before microphone, you complain that you don't hear me. Now you complain. I mean, I don't understand. Always complain for something. Never happy. Okay. What's going on here? D6, knight C6. I have to take E4 and take knight C7. Why not pick up this pawn? Take this pawn. Wrong. Okay, audio is good now, yeah? But time by time it changes the problem. I don't know why. Or BC simply. He will or rook d1. Which move I suppose? Knight c3, knight d4. Knight c3 is a mistake. BC is a mistake because the bishop. Maybe it's rook d1, not allow bishop d4. Queen e4, then knight c3. The tempo and d1, queen, knight c3, queen f4. We take, then bishop e4, right there, bishop f3. Is it? Don't think so. Excellent. Good chances here. This one is tricky. I don't have any idea what to put. Probably I will make mistake. Maybe rook d1, queen e4, knight c3, queen e4, then knight d5, 4, queen e4, then knight c7. Okay, I will go. Ah, okay. Easy. 8 points. So no issues anymore, I hope. With 5, okay. 5, rook 5. Okay, thanks to know. e2, e4. Oh, here, e4. Vienna concert. Thank you for cheering, man. 500 beats. Appreciate it. How are you doing, by the way? Inspired me for old chess players and stop playing blitz and focus on longer games. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. e4, I guess. Queen going to for walk. Perfect. If I remember well, you told me that you are from Slovenia, right? First, I thought that Vienna concert should be normally from Vienna, but no. I guess you are from Slovenia, right? e4, g5, and queen. Okay. In which city you are? In capital Ljubljana or? Yeah, I was in Slovenia. Bogatska Slatina, I guess. Yeah, mixed. On weekend, you and your friends going to Ljubljana, I guess, for parties times. With car, a lot of people. I'm professional musician. Oh, means that you may be playing in some concert on halls, Ljubljana. Yeah, now it's closed, of course. Fucked up everywhere. The sound is cut off and connected. And so maybe you also have stream channel. Yeah, Vienna concert. Because I saw that a lot of DJs and musicians, they are playing online. Why not to have it? Why not to make it? You are really making it. On which instrument you are playing? It's funny. John Twitch says that sound is perfect. Araz Lamaso says no audio. Whom to believe now? I'm like in some surrealistic dream. Like everything goes okay, but not so much. Piano, drums. Oh, okay, cool. I hear everything. Can't hear dog. That's a good sign. I'll try to make it. Oh yes, do it. Pandemic period. You never know when it ends, so don't waste time. Okay, I trust Don't Twitch. What if we just take this queen? I don't understand. I'm thinking. Take it. Yeah, as more time you use, as more quality of chess normally. So then your level also improving, of course. Yeah, but the problem is that with such a control, it increases the chances to meet, especially when it's prizes. One cheater on the tournament can destroy whole your tournament. Then he will be banned, but who cares? Don't care about that. But your tournament is destroyed. Why queen is missing here? Five here. Side I want to make long castle. Rook here. Passed into rook d6, knight a2. Take. Probably rook d6, knight a2. d2 is, yeah, 10 points. Also, one time I had 2700 on puzzles. I had, it sounds bad. It means that you decrease that. 5-10% of the sound is cut off. See mouse move, but no sound. Yeah, but I mean, I know English. I had the same, exactly same settings when you hear me well, and I don't know what's changed. Maybe cat jumped on it while I was uh, sleepy. I don't know. But bishop g b2. 8 points. Wow. Something wrong with leeches. It starts to give me a lot of points. Yeah. You want to say that cat is jealousy? Yeah. Definitely. One cat from four, it's really jealousy here. Ivano, hello. Queen f2. What about queen f g2 hill? h2, king h2. ff2. A whole 1 point. Cats need attention very much. Yeah. c8, knight f3. I'm losing game. e4. No, not e4. He plays. Maybe it's simply rook d4. One and king h2 doesn't work. Yeah, after such a long problems, I finally back to 2700. Hello, Uncle. What are you doing? For some. Thank you for following. What we do? And take knight. I don't see better option. F6, 96, 96, queen f5, and this and a bishop. F6 looks most solid move because knight protects these squares. Why I need to take it? F6, I guess. Baadur, do you have any good advice? First of all, work hard. Second, I was all my life learning classical games, good annotations, and the end games. Important proof. Capablanca also was saying something like that, working on games very much. 3, I guess. What else? I mean, we have better option. Oh, check. Yeah, we have to move, right? Can be moved like this. Yeah, this mistake, huge mistake, because he played rook f7, we take. Then after g2, he plays knight e6. F7 is check and stop my pawn. Definitely g2. Or king e8, which there's one option to run here. Don't see where is perpetual. There's no perpetual. What's wrong to go here? There's a check. Maybe takes e1, plays knight e4. And then he has contraplay after checking e5 maybe. Maybe it's king d6. 9 points, perfect. d4. 4, 5, rook 1. What winning games? Karpov. What winning books? Karpov book. Bronstein. No, many. Alyokhin. Kotov. I did not read Gelfand book, but I'm sure it should be a perfect book. So I guess Gelfand book will be nice advice. I want to play queen d4, b6. Eight. What is it? We have two moves, here or here. Queen this. You don't hear a barking dog, for example. Idiot is a minus that we are not threatening to take because of fork. But what he will do? Okay, so microphone started to work properly. F8 from first sight looks much more better than this move because we are not threatening take. Yeah, 0 point? Are you kidding me? Knight a. We take, he takes. What we do? Oh, winning up. d4. Now, knight e4 sounds to be good move. It's a check. Cannot go here because we take. Cape here. So clear, I guess. Oh no. Was it check or what? Kidding me? Check or bishop e2 here? Yeah, it was check, yeah? But why not king d2? This is just we win the knight. What's wrong with king d2? I did not play it because of this move. Take. Knight e4. Always win. Why he give me knight? I really don't understand. Wrong here. Decline because of this move. Okay, fuck it. 5 f queen, 4 queen f4 he'll. Um, yeah. Oh, I'm missing. Takes. Row chess. Again, the sound. Okay, sorry guys, I cannot change anything. Wrong with. Привет, Артур. Я уже сделал дофига ошибок. 4 or 5 mistakes. Никакой чистой головы нет, я все же уставший вчерашнего. H5, queen f4. I'm losing. Give me mate. Okay, but then why Roaches dude says that it's my mouse moves but no sound? What the hell it means? Приветствуем. My mind stopped to work. Completely. I don't see anything. How to win this position? What? It's like minus 30 or maybe plus 10. This one, I guess. Right now. Second, let me consider. So rook h5 doesn't work. Rook h4 not works because he takes. Check before f5 he takes. So how we f5 ef maybe gf queen f5. What are we doing then? Oh, f5 he takes. Oh, again doesn't work. Check. The hell is this? Ah, g5 check. Oh, sick! It's so easy. Check, check, and rook e1. How we don't see it? I mean, yeah. With fresh mind, I would solve it in a few seconds, bro. Come on, this was hard. 3 points, of course, because it's not hard. Oh, knight b1, knight a. I have to go with queen here. 10 points. Again, I would do that. Incredible. Thank you for following. Fischer does, hello. Queen e3 check and win the queen, I guess. Yeah, something really wrong. Fischer does, maybe you know something about filters of microphone in OBS. Technical stuff, you know, maybe. Who knows? I guess it needs few seconds to fix this problem. In a suite, how long did it take you? If I remember well, I became grandmaster when I was 17. Maybe you can Google. I'm not sure. I never was in rushed for these titles and these bullshits. Thank you for following. Like I was never in rush of rating. Thank you. Low town. One or simply king d2 and like this. So now sound back, right? One bishop g2, g5. Okay. I like king d2. Much more safe move. Oh no! Rook h4, yeah? I was too fast. Or knight f5. Or knight f7. Knight f5 looks. Oh, of course, d4, yeah? I don't trust my intuition today. I don't know why. d4 was... Okay, I will make this till next mistake. That's it. Enough for today. Really not my day. Solve anything. Don't see even easy solutions. So what we do here? Page 3. I will solve it till one mistake. Then we switch to Fischer games. Always mistake because of rook a5, knight 6. So d6, rook a5, and then all this square. Hello, Tom Ken. How are you doing? Good afternoon. I sit the legend 27. H1 and just win this. Why he give me again? Give me twice in a row or what? Oh. Also we have bishop 5, G4, F3. Also looks quite winning. F8, 93, I don't see why we need to play it. Any reason to play it. So G4, he also had, I guess we need to take and play G4 with winning position. I see it's the legend 27, no problem. Sergey, hello, everything is okay. How are you doing? A little bad warm up before games. Henrik, for following. Like this, definitely. So what we are doing here? We take this and bishop h3. How are you gonna defend this idea? To be easy, and I'll go take this because we cannot take looking. Oh no. Yeah, today is not my day. Yeah, definitely. What was the solution? Long castle? F. What the hell? Not bishop f1, not long castle, not f. Then what? Ah, queen f1. Okay, enough. Really enough. I just don't see queen f1 check. I mean, wrong. Don't see this check and just exchange the queens. I mean, enough. I started today warm up with 2700 and look at this now. I see, Sergey. And who won, by the way, elections? All right, let's switch to Fischer. Enough of these bullshits. We need some real stuff here. Здравствуйте. Это еще. Где? Я не понял, Артур. Где они отправляются? Что? What are you talking? Very study. What? And how they will? It will be just variations. What's the point? Without explanation, it will be just variations. Я не знаю, Артур, честно. Ничем не могу помочь, честно. Yeah, let it be like this. Okay, I wanted to start today. We remember the last game of Fischer. What we seen, it was a beautiful game against Stahl, and it was ended with a perpetual beautiful game. So next game, it was played in Germany, 1960. He was 17 years old, and Darga. Larry Evans said that Fischer always in that period has problems against Wiener variation in French, and also because his repertoire was quite tight and the opponents was easily preparing. Or in Soviet literature, Wiener usually they called it Nimzovich system, French. Let's go. E4. 8. E6. D4. E5. Knight c2. Bishop b4. e5, the main line of this system. 5, e3, bishop c3. Bishop a5 was played in that game, what we seen last time against Fischer, if you remember. So bishop bc, main line, knight e7. And a4 played by Fischer. And he says that this was a favorite move of Smyslov, which forced Botvinnik to stop to play this variation. But more sharp continuation is queen g4, he said. So a4, he played in this position. And queen 7 by Darga. His name was Klaus, German player. Yes, John Twitch, you're right, Klaus. Queen c7. Fischer says that usually black was playing knight c6 here, knight f3, queen f5, attacking this queen d2. The idea of queen d2 is that after c4 to operate with bishop on this diagonal. Queen d2 protects this pawn. And he also gives another game, which was played 2 years later after this current game. Fischer was white against Padevsky in Varna. He played bishop d2 in this position. And after bishop d7, bishop e2, c4. Now long castle is preparing also. h4 he played, interesting move. f6 played by Padevsky. After h5, take on e5, h6, g takes dh, 95, 95, d, long castle was in that game. After rook h6, knight g6, Padevsky got better position. Michele, buonasera, I'm doing good. How are you doing? Welcome back, man. We see that Fischer, 2 years later, did not react well against this opening. This current game, queen c7 was chosen by Darga, which not sounds to be very logical. And also, Fischer was thinking that f6 here is a strong move. He gives exclamation mark here. Sorry, not here. I mean, knight f6, knight f3, queen f5, queen e2, and here after bishop d7, bishop d3. Now black has option with c4. He also played against Ullmann this with white, but f6 was played in another game against Ullmann. Ullmann improved his own game. After castle, he take on e5. He played knight e5, d, he thinks not the better. After knight e5, Ullmann take on e5, d, e. Yeah, then he played castle. You see that pawns are quite weak here. After 4, e2, bishop d2, played bishop 6, and Fischer thinks that this position is equal. Hello, chill chess. Okay, this is just information a little bit about this opening. But queen 7 played by Darga, knight f3, logical, and d6 proves the center. And another option that black want to exchange now the light square bishops. Also was possible play bishop d7 and knight b6 like normal, but played b6 and now bishop b5 strong move according to Fischer here. Bishop d7 natural move played by Darga, but he says that much more better move was king f8. We decided to keep this bishop a6 option. After bishop d3, bishop a6. If we don't play bishop d3, maybe even c4 is possible, and we catch this bishop. After castle c4, or maybe we don't. a5 we have. Then I don't see reason why we need to hurry. if we cannot catch this bishop. So for example, castle, this move, a5 strong move, because a6 we first take this. Okay, so b8, and this bishop goes here, knight g5, it's attack. So I guess instead of bishop d3, what he said, castle was better here. And after bishop d3, bishop a6. This was a better for black, he said. Not better, I mean better continuation. Alright, but Darga played bishop d7, which looks much more natural. Bishop d3, no any more bishop a6 move here. You probably know it, but if you want to navigate more easily between moves of the main line, especially when game is long and lots of variation, you can right click the main line station and make it main. Okay, let's try. For example, promote, yeah, okay, good advice. There is no any problems for black, he says, in case of natural move castle here, because of bishop b5, and after ab, there is a strong move a5, because a7 would be weakness, a5, and in case of knight g5, we kick out this knight, it goes to h3, this idea go here, knight d7, knight f4, and still short castle strong move. Ivkov Birn was played in 1964. Like it's okay here. Very strong. That's why he played bishop e3. Avoid exchange. Yeah. Sergei played f4 prior to deal with the knight. You mean here? Instead of knight f3, if he played f4. But then I guess cd is very unpleasant move here. After cd, we have this check. And bishop d2 only move, we lose this pawn. Central pawn and no compensation. That's the idea of queen c6. Knight f3 is forced. e6. Check. This happened in the game. After that, knight e6 was played. So black won a tempo, but it's not clear if b6 is good for him. That castle and c4. Obviously, castle was a huge blunder because of traditional sacrifice and then give mate. c4 first kick out this bishop on e2. Now, probably black did not castle because they saw that white will have attack here. So he played f6 in this position. And bishop a3, interesting move by Fischer. White is going to sacrifice the pawn, but they keep pressure in the center. It was much more safe rook e1, but much more, I mean, less aggressive move. He says that he had the game against Madness in US Championship 1962, but and there also he sacrificed pawn like this, but pawn of Madness was on b7. So let's see what happens here. Fe. Darga accepts the GE by white. He says that he could not achieve anything after knight e5 here, because knight e5, de, then queen takes on e5. This knight is very important in the game. Rook e1, queen c3. White sacrificed 2 pawns now. And bishop h5 check. g6, bishop g4. Bishop e7 is following d5 would be a big mistake because of queen a1. Distract this rook. Then take here, because queen g5 check is queen f6. Black is winning here. So bishop g4 attacking this pawn, but after that, queen f6 would be strong move. And black is absolutely fine. That's why he take de. Probably he wants to keep a knight on the board or exchange it in better circumstances. Knight e5 by Darga. It was much better then make castle here, because knight d4 was strong move. Using that, now knight is under attack. Thank you for following. With following f4, and white has not to waste time of rook e1 move. Knight d4, and probably maybe black has to sacrifice the exchange here, but it's probably not enough decision in d2. Also bishop c4 is actually here using this pin. Yeah, this is not black plan. That's why he accept the sacrifice. e5. Rook e1 he played, and now the threat is to take and check and win the queen. Knight 7 d6. And he gives 2 more options for black here. If he would play knight 5 d6 here, he was going to play knight g5, very unpleasant move. So bishop h5 is the idea, then take. And castle would be the good move here. And in case of h6, there would be bishop h5 check, g6, take on e6, forcing bishop e6, rook e6. And after gh, we don't take here, but we take here. Not allow king d7 move. And after rook d8, then we take on h5. King goes to d7 with hope to escape, but unfortunately he cannot because of rook a e1. He's attacked, and white has a winning position. Why after knight g5, castle would be the good move. And bishop g4, continuation, with idea to take and then fork. We see that these 2 bishops are so strong here. After bishop g4, queen f4 would be good move, because e5 is wrong due of bishop e6 check. Using the d, if you take, there is a fork. So king h8, then bishop d5. Again, like in serious trouble here. Why queen f4? Attacking knight, attacking this pawn. But after queen f4, bishop e6, strong move. Knight e6 would be mistake, due of queen f2, king h1, and rook f7, strong move here. Protecting also this is a pin. And bishop e6, knight, bishop has to take on e6, knight takes on e6, is a fork so far, forcing queen f2, king h1, rook f5, a good move here. After rook f5, rook e2. The question is, why not possible? After bishop e7, knight e7, knight 7, maybe rook a f8 is a good move here. We cannot take the knight because of mate. Capture some. Why rook f5 is good? Why not rook f6, for example? And what will happen here? What will happen? Maybe knight g5. Maybe knight g5 is unpleasant moves. That's why rook on a5 controls this square, and it's very hard to protect this knight here. Probably that was the reason. But rook e8 is loses up in d5 check. Knight d5 is e8, and we take everything. Win the change. Square rook f5. Control this square. After rook f5, rook e2 would be a good move. Out this queen. Queen h4 and knight d4. This is all is analyzed. Yes, I will. And rook h5, a good move. Knight d4 is not possible here because of bishop e7 intermediate move. We attack the queen, and then this is attacked. So rook h5 attacking this pawn. Knight f3 attacking and defending. Queen f6 to take this knight. Then after queen 6, queen e1 attacking. If you go, then e6 is coming, and this knight is on rook e8. You have to protect the rook e6. attacking queen. We cannot go on a5 because rook 6 and there's a pin. So queen f7 is the only protection on e8. And after that, queen e2 would be the move. Using that there's a pin and want to join with rook on e1. After queen h6, rook e3, and after rook a1 is a decisive pin here. Thank you for following. What are variations? Of course, it's not necessary. I mean, necessary to be the perfect, but very interesting. In case of this was in case Darga would play this, which is practically for Darga was very hard situation. If he would play this move, then h4 Fischer wanted to play. Because now knight g5, castle, and bishop g4, queen f4, black will manage to hold according to Fischer. So h4 would be a move instead, beside h5. And knight c6 as a move. No, 1 second, h4, knight c6, yeah. Because we cannot castle anyway, because h5 attacking, and then this will lost. So knight c6, and after knight c6, knight g5, and black king cannot escape, because here we cannot go. If long castle, knight f7 with fork, and h6 is a bad move because knight e6, bishop e6, and then bishop g4 here. You're following. We see that this is pinned, and black's center will collapse. That's why Darga was probably thinking long here, and he decided to play this move directly. What happens after this? Yeah, this move with transpose leaves the same position as in the game. So after knight 6, he take on e5. We see that queen cannot take here to way of check. Then we win this queen. So knight e5. Now check is not promise anything because we can play g6 and this is protected. That's why he played f4 in this position. So, let me see. What after queen d4 here? I did check. Probably Darga wanted to play long castle. Like this was his plan here. Find is white, I guess. Bishop is a little bit passive because of this wall here. e5, then knight 6. Yeah. Why he played f4? So white has to be in really hurry until king not castle. Knight c6 by Darga. Knight g6 would be simply bad move because of f5, and we take and collapse. Like if knight f7, he wanted to play bishop h5 again, not allow a castle alongside. After g6, then would be f5 strong move. Now gh is a bet because of fe, so long castle black. fe 6, rook e6, h. After queen h5, white would have much better position according to Fischer. Probably rook f1, attack here, knight goes here. This is weak. Also, this is control. So that's why he played knight c6. So one step for king, still safety, but bishop g4 was played. And he said that more precise was bishop h5 first. Now king d8 is a bad move because of f5, then ef, queen d5. So g6 is forced, and then bishop g4. And after long castle, take on e6, rook e6, and after rook d7, try to consolidate. Then queen f3 here. These are the rook e1. Knight d8, f6. That was the probably idea of check. Have this square. And after rook e8, rook d1. White has better perspective. So we can play f5 and 2 versus 1. This pawn is weak, knight is passive. But instead, he played bishop g4 immediately here. So long castle, for like no way to protect these 2 pawns. Yeah, if knight d8, we take on d5. So castle, he takes. Rook d7, and now we see the difference. In case of queen f3, then knight d8 and rook has to leave back. Yeah, that was his idea. So f5 he played. He says that it was possible to play queen f3, but after knight d8, rook e5, queen c6, he evaluated this position like equal. Because this is weak. Transfer, yeah. This two according to after a5, probably we can take and this knight protect e5. But he played f5 with idea f6, and then he wants to open this file. Knight d8 by Darga. Take away this active rook. Rook e3. And queen f4 he played. He says that Darga is defending with a big power here. Rook f3 protecting this. Queen e4. Queen placed in very nice place, not allow develop for white easily. For example, queen d2, then rook e8 and we control e file. That's why he played a5, try to distract Darga's attention. Open a file. Now white is using that queen is cut off from the queen side here. HD, we are doing perfect. How you are doing? Thank you. After a5, what he played here? Yeah, and now Darga should play b5, strong move, and probably it would be more or less equal. Then he plays rook e8, knight c6, consolidated position, b7. Maybe Fischer wanted to play a6 here, fix this pawn. Like this was following. 8. Yes, black is absolutely fine here. This is also weak, but black has some chances in center. But instead, Darga played a first mistake in the game, and big mistake. Knight 6 he played. And he allows to open this file. And queen b1 immediately uses this take. Now king b7 is bad, do of bishop e5, and we take this pawn. In case of rook b7, he wanted to play f6 here. f7 is a threat, forcing gf, then rook f6. You see, we see that white pieces all suddenly became so active. Attack. And after d4 to protect, then queen b5. And this hangs, also bishop can jump, and rook will connect in attack. So this will be disaster. That's why Darga played here king c7, only move, probably to defend pawn. Okay, now he said kind of study kind of position. White is begin and winning here. Can you guess how he win here? I'll give you 2 minutes for. Who knows the game? Keep quiet. Yes, Chess Patzer. Hello, how are you doing? You are right. So, John Twitch, what is your variations? Yes. World missed such a match like Lasker Rubinstein and also this match, Karpov. You were following, guys. Any ideas what? Yeah, bishop c1. Look at this move. There is no blunder because queen e1 is rook f1. Because now white is threatening to give check here and then bring this queen here. Give mate or bishop e3 somewhere. And knight e5 also not protects from that because after bishop f4 pin, rook e8, then queen b5 with decisive attack. Rook controls first rank. Rook a7 is a threat. We cannot move king here because we exchange. Take this rook. And black is collapsing. We see that knight c6 was such a big mistake by Darga. First mistake and big mistake. Queen e1 he played, probably by desperation. And after rook f1, attacking here, check on c3. But Fischer gives check on f4. King e7. Queen b5, strong move. And Darga resign. No defense. If knight a5, we take this rook. Mate in 1 is a threat. Knight b4, same. Knight b8, we just take it. Take here. No defense. All white pieces are in attack here. This rook is useful. Protects. After check, we play 1 here. This rook protects here and protects here. Most important rook. No defense. Yeah. Black was doing perfect. They was defending well, but Fischer don't say how much time his opponent was spending on the game in opening and middle game. Maybe he was in time trouble actually. That's why he played knight 6. I don't know. But even in time trouble, if you have to avoid such moves, yes, which gives additional chances for opponent. Normally have to play b5. Okay, let's move to another game. It was played in US Championship 1960 against Lombardi. Lombardi was hello, Robert James Blunder. 0 hour. How are you doing? Lombardi. Of course, it's like this, right? What this computer is doing? I mean, wrong with my computer. Why can't delete everything? Thank you, Kokica. Lombardi. So epsilon in, right? This. You John Twitch. Right. So you see it. Let's move. Like color. Lombardi started with e4, c5, knight f3, d6, d4, take, knight f6. We know the traditional move is knight b3 here. Knight b1. We played f3, also is possible. I've seen recently games by 3. The idea to move center and also play c4. Kind of like Marozzi setup. Fischer said this is a passive and slow move, which not promise white anything. So knight c6 he played here. And much more energetic move, he said, was e5 here. For me, Alexander Alekhin and Karl Schlechter. And probably Lasker. So, e5. was played here. No, I mean he played knight 6, but he says that e5 was much more powerful move. And I think knight b3 recently people was playing here, but he gives variations. In case of knight b5, a6, knight e3, then bishop e6, knight d5. He takes with bishop here. No, with the knight goes bishop a5 with equal position. Yeah, does nothing. And in case of bishop b5 here, he recommended knight bd7 in this position. And after knight f5, e5 in this. Not allow blocking. After ed, a6. Bishop d7, then queen d7. Attack the knight, attack the pawn. After queen d7, knight e3, protecting this pawn. Bishop c5. Using that castle not possible duo of king, and we can take this pawn. After bishop c5, e4, protected, b5. Yeah. It was played in 1957 between the match against Cardozo. 1957, he was 14 years old only. But yeah, he played knight e6 for some reason. c4, e6. Another good option, he said, was knight d4. In d4 and g6, we have to remember this idea. Usually, if you want to take, you have to do it before bishop are on e3. Because then he take with bishop. For example, g6, we can make tricky move first, then play knight c6. That's why want to play g6, better do it like this, because then white has to lose the tempo. Bishop g6, queen d2, castle, knight c3 would be. Then you play bishop e6, maybe even queen b8, rook c8, or just bishop ec, knight d7, and a5, a4 also ideas here. But he played e6, maybe with idea of d5. Knight c3 and bishop e7 he played. d5 is too early and bad move because white takes with this pawn and bishop b5, and probably they are winning pawn here. Cannot take d because knights have to play bishop d7, take here, d4, exchange, take here. Pawn for white. Enough competition. Why bishop e7 first develop? Bishop e3 was played. He had another game with black with such position in Mar del Plata in 1960 against Fogelman. And then Fogelman played knight c2, probably to have this pressure on d5 square, not allow d5. After castle, you bring this knight on e3, but this is too artificial play. It's like only pawns and knights are playing. It's not recommended to do like that. Now he played interesting move d5 anyway. And after ed, his opponent take with pawn, but much more stronger was knight ed5, he said. After ed, he played knight e5 here, queen b3, then he put this bishop here. The rook e8, using weakness of f3. Okay, his opponent played quite bad. See it? Rook e8, bishop e2, then he played knight g6, attacking this knight. He played knight c2. How many times he played knight c2? Then knight h4, suddenly attacking pawn from here. And after long castle, knight g2, he got a clear advantage here. Yeah, knight c2, knight e3 is definitely correct. Bishop e3 is the most natural combination here. Castle, knight c. Now he played. Because probably he already ready. e5, play bishop, you go this. Now bc e5, I guess black has absolutely good play here. That's why Lombardi plays knight c2, not allows, he thinks. But again, he played d5 here. He says that better development of pieces would be a great compensation for the pawn. Rook e8 was more solid, but I'm passive. Thank you for following. So d5. Lombardi has to accept this sacrifice. What else he do? Knight take e5. This time ed was better, obviously, because knight on c3 These are really developed piece and also text very good. Why to now knight e5 was not so good because of queen d4 attack. Long castle. We see that these knights are useful here. But knight b4 he was planning to go here. And bishop c4 good move. Protect and preparing short castle. He wanted to play bishop f5 attacking here. Knight b4, bishop b4. Why cannot take it? With this castle and rook e8 here. And he says that black would recapture pawn, but would have a worse position. I don't know what he means. Maybe bishop p3, bishop c3, bc, rook c3. Yes, that's definitely worse. Pair of bishops. Also, queen b3 is a good move here, I guess. Yeah. So d5 probably it's not so solid. But instead, Lombardi takes with knight here. Knight d5. John Twitch, we cannot say it's weakness or strength, but it's a pawn up. So white would not have choice. I think it's boss. Same time boss, but it's a pawn up. So knight d5 he take here. Queen d5 by Lombardi. He wants to simplify position because he has pawn up, but unfortunately he's exchanged these developed pieces. Fischer said that black would have a good game in case of ed knight b4. We see that a point. In case of bishop c4, I guess we can even take then bishop b4 check, queen h4 check here coming. After bishop c4, he offers bishop f5. Can we take actually? Give this check. I wanted that after bishop d2 take and give this check, but king f2 will be good move. Maybe it's not what black wants. Still after rook e8 we have rook e3 is a threat. One, but instead of knight, he thinks stronger bishop f5 here. But he only shows knight b4. What about knight d4 here? Attacking bishop with either castle. What's supposed to be Fischer's next move here? Knight d5 doesn't work. 5. Is it so good? This knight d4 I did it with tempo, and next move castle. Why it's so bad? Even I will give you this move. But I want more with black. Can I play for more after? Take here and give this check. So I guess white has two moves, here or here. f2 looks more logical, but rook e8. What is white's move here? This looks very dangerous. What are we supposed to play? Possible. a3 is extremely dangerous move. Yes, we take it. ab leads to b6 move. Yeah, I guess even b5 check. Only move here. Very strong initiative again. Like here. Yeah, maybe it's not so clear, but for me, looks very big initiative from your side. I would play like this during the game because there's no good defense against rook. Big threat, but a3 I can play e6, bishop d6. Don't wanna lose control. Yeah, this would be better, I guess, than position bishop f5 in my. But bishop f5 we don't take here. It gives knight b4 move. Bishop b4, king f2, rook e8. Yeah, this would be good, but compared to my variation, we have bishop on a5, but of course white will not go for it. Much stronger is knight d4 in my attacking. I don't know why he did not mention this simple move. So I guess bishop g6 is the option here. Now we cannot be greedy because of fork. Castle probably. Knight d5. But okay, white is not worse here. Maybe very little. Very little. F2, bishop f6, queen b3. Take queen b3. Okay, some very little edge maybe. HT, James Bloody, your voice is cuts out in. Yeah, I know. It's, since last night it started these issues. I don't know. I will later try to do something with my OBS filters. Probably something happened there to change it. Nothing I can do because if I touch it now, it will be worse. But instead, Lombardi take with a queen, and it's even worse. Queen c7 strong. Obviously, black avoids to go to endgame here. All right, John Twitch. Queen c7, and now Lombardi plays an extremely bad move. He played queen b5. What is this? What is this move? I never would play this move. Of course, much stronger was to play simply bishop e2, and he wanted to give check, provoke g3, and go here, castle, bishop b2, and okay, black's position good because pawns are equal. Also, queen gets under attack, but it would be much better compared to game. But Lombardi is so greedy. He wants to keep a pawn up, but he don't feel the initiative or what? He don't feel the danger. Such a player like Tigran Petrosyan would never play like this, of course. Bishop d7, developing move. Threat is knight b4, also connecting rooks, ideal move. Rook c1 by Lombardi. Again, too optimistical move. Maybe last hope for white was to play queen e2, and in case of bishop f6, play long castle here. At least some time. Because they're using that knight b4 not possible because of rook e7 and that is attacked. But instead he played a terrible move, rook c1. So 1, 2, 3 moves in such a dynamical position. Not developing, just moving same pieces. Knight b4 strong move. And very unpleasant surprise, says Fischer. Which brings white to reality. Knight b4, try to get rid from wars. White gives exchange. In case of queen e2, because there is no another way to save this knight, he wanted to play knight a2 with tempo and regain the pawn deficit, and also have a pressure, free pressure here. And in case of queen c4, there would be queen a5, strong move here. After knight b4, bishop b4 here. f2, and then rook a c8, attacking here. Queen d5, we take on c1. Using that queen a5, you cannot take because there is intermediate check, and then we take this queen. So only move bishop d1, and beautiful check here. Look at this check. White is losing probably because king needs to mate up b6. King d2 would be the only move, but then bishop d5, king d1, d8 here. Or probably king e3. Okay, the position looks disastrously bad for white after check on b6 and penetrate here. So king f4 is only more what? But then king f4, queen h6 is coming. Yeah, this is losing after f2. That's why Lombardi finally understand objective power of attack of Fischer and decided to implicate position but give exchange. E1. Yeah, he wastes too much time. Right. Check on b5, knight d5. Played attacking the bishop on e7. And bishop h4, strong move by Fischer. He says that this move, it's like a scorpion's bite. g3 and bishop f1 here. Rook h1 and bishop d8. So what we see here? Lombardi has pawn and knight against exchange. So he still has some chance to arrive here. still again black has to cross some technical issues because knight on d5 is extremely strong, and also white's structure is good. Bishop d2, probably Lombardi wants to put it on d3 and close this file. Rook c8, bishop c3. So in such positions, usually we somehow have to try open more files and then exchange pair of rooks. If we somehow isolate this pawn, then exchange rooks, we will be winning. So let's see what happened here. Now rook e8 will be weak move with idea f5 because of g4, this position. So f5 immediately he plays, strong move. James Blunder, why exchange undeveloped bishop at f1 earlier? Because I guess it was a double attack. You mean this position? We see that this bishop attack, he could not avoid. He would lose material. What to do here? Rook c8 maybe he could play, but then bishop d2, so just transpose. Yeah, so this kind of like forced. Like this and g4 now. Sorry, f5 he played. 1 second, maybe in this position was critical for white. He should not allow f5 move in my opinion. Maybe g4 was strong move here. And after rook c8 play king d1, control this and this. Because if we open this f5 it will be disaster. Now g6 will fix pawn with g5 I guess. Also bishop h6 with tempo actually. I think this was a good continuation. And then put this bishop here. In some case rook f2. Yeah, I think this was the best defense, but Fischer don't say anything about that. Because of what we see in the game. He played natural move. White plays natural move bishop d2, and then after rook c8 with idea rook c2, forced to play this, and black has timed for f5 strong move here. And now white is forced to play e5, after which knight will be not so strong here. He loses this forepost on d5. So after e5, rook c5, knight b4. We see it to compare, yes? Now go back and we see comparison of this d4, rook c8, and king d1. We must not allow rook c2, obviously. So king d1 only move. I think this was the ideal position for white. I mean, this was the maximum we could do. Definitely, I would play like this, and bishop is rook f2 here. Not so easy for black to improve their position. Rook e8, rook e6, rook c6. Then I can maybe even play this and this. So you again start to hear my dog. It's not my dog. I mean, free dog, but bad sign. It means that the microphone has issues. Yeah, if you hear, because before it was not possible. So you hear again, dog, right? The microphone stopped to work, I guess. Yeah, I did not hear yesterday because the microphone was working yesterday. Today is not working. Yeah, but I mean, if microphone okay, you don't hear outside of this room any sound, like was first 2 days. That's how I make this filter. But if you hear it, it means that filter is mixed up. All right, so I think e4 was very strong move here. That Lombardi played these natural moves, but after e5 he forced to play e5 and rook c5, kick away this dominant knight here. Knight b4. Right. Why so serious? Mark Esterman, thank you very much for raid 59. Thank you, welcome people. We are watching, by the way, famous legendary Bobby Fischer games here. So find time and join. How are you, Mark? Are you here? And don't forget to follow him, by the way. I watched a few times his streams. Very original player, original man. Interesting to watch. Really, it's like if you want to enjoy chess and at the same time uh, don't tired watch his streams. Hello, how are you? Why is so serious? You're right. Why people are so serious? All right. So we see the circumstances of this natural but very slow maneuver. Black managed to kick. I mean, managed to force move this pawn, and after rook c5, kick this knight to the passive position here. Knight f4 or knight e3 was bad. Duel of bishop a5 here, and white is losing the pawn because knight d3 to protect. We take here and we take here. This. Thank you for sub, Mara. Thank you, appreciate, man. Appreciate. Thank you too for compliments. Nice from you, man. Thank you for following, by the way. Yeah, that's why knight b4 played by Lombardi. We see that everything go wrong for him in this game. Anyway, bishop a5 was played by Fischer. He wants to take and take with check. So Lombardi didn't find better moves than a3 in this position. After a3, he eliminates this strong knight. So white cannot take because of check. So ab is forced, and now he played rook d5 with obvious idea to double rooks and bring this king, block this pawn, and then operate with rooks. Yes. King e2. What else Lombardi can do here? King f7, logical continuation. H4. This move, I'm not too sure that it was best here, because you have to avoid move your pawns usually in a game. It creates some weaknesses. I don't like this move, H4, but probably Lombardi already was thinking that the position is hopeless. Thank you for following us. Yes, yes, you're right, Mark. So H4, King E6, logical continuation. King E3. 1 second, let me think here. Why not E6 check here? Could Lombardi complicate matters? Or first, maybe first somehow attack this pawn, force A6 to have this rook for any case here, and then E6. I want to exchange this pawn for this, because it reduces power of this bishop. And then if I exchange, I will go back. So probably Fischer would not take here. I guess he would go D6 maybe, with the idea of win this pawn. Would Lombardi somehow defend it or not? Maybe not. Because rook e1, rook e8, f2, we go rook d6 and rook d7. We cannot defend, right? Unfortunately, we cannot defend. Aha, I guess in this position, this was natural but bad move. He should play king f2 maybe. This was, I guess, very precise. We have this e file open for rook maybe. Because now after king f7, let's imagine we play rook a1. I don't know why. Let's try to play it, and then e6 check. Now this is not convincing, I guess, not so much. I was thinking maybe black can take and penetrate on d2 until bishop is here. After king e3, go here, protect. But still, is some chances here. Much more chances for white than in the game, I guess. We play h4, then go king f4, bishop goes here. These are the like for black. I like this. Ah, but check here. Okay, so rook a1 actually is mistake. Then now rook has to be on f1, protect this pawn. So yeah, immediately we go the same position. Yes, f3 is protected. White has some chances. We connect bishop to pawn. Goes f4 and is protected. So after a6, maybe he should play d6, but now king is not on e2, and we have this protection. But still rook e8, and we maybe can win this. Let me understand what is white chances here. What can we do here? So we resign or fight for something. What could be what is idea here if he would play this? Like open the G file some. Cannot do it, right? We're following. Yeah, because the point that if white will not complicate somehow matters, they will be slowly squeezed without any chance. So look what happened in the game. He played king e2, king f7, then h4. I do like this move. It maybe can be useful in future for black, yeah, to open more files. King e6, e3. So obviously Lombard decided to passively defend this position. Just wait. He played h4 to probably place king here and not allow in g5, h6, g5 ideas. Rook e8. Fischer wants to give check from here. Rook d1, e4. He says that black slowly improved their position. And but he says that his chances are connected here with some sacrifices on e5, c3, b4, something like that. Imagine like rook b5, rook b4. So rook g e1. And this was a huge blunder, James blunder here. And it was much better, he said, to just attack this pawn and then go here. This was the best option for white and try to keep this. But after rook e1, he just blunder c3. Yeah, that's James blunder here. And unfortunately for Lombardi, he just forgets that Fischer can sacrifice and exchange all his rooks and get to the winning pawn endgame here. So king d5 penetrate to this tempting square. King d2, what else? We need to protect this pawn. King c4. So the idea to create passer, distract king to the queen side, then eat this pawn and go much faster than opponent's king to the side and eat these testy, juicy pawns. Nothing white can do against it. He played h5, probably already he could resign, but desperate mode probably. So Fischer plays sadistic move g5, probably he could play a5 immediately. G5, h6, he first fixed this pawn. And after f4, g4, now he takes this passer. And after f, e4, play this, and he go to here and win. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we know this skill of Fischer. Once he was like what we can compare, like Predator. Once he feels blood, he becomes like very strong, very aggressive. But once Fischer was feeling that opponent gives weakness, his power was increased, like double up. Yes, we checked it. Yeah, but what do you think, Mark? I will go back. We have a strong player in our chat. Let's hear this advice. In this position, for example, I guess was the critical moment for this end game. Lombardi played bishop d2, natural move, try to close this file to penetration, but the point that after rook c8, it's forced move, and Fischer had this very unpleasant move here. And this knight is so important. And I thought that best move was here g4, which Fischer avoids to comment. Why not g4 here? Not allow. After rook c8, I want to play king d1. Protect and also control this square. Then bishop e3 or bishop d2, bishop c3 later, because black, they are not so much coordinated here. They cannot use this waste of time by white. And g6 follows with bishop h6, for example. Then in future f5, gf, we open this, we operate over g file by white. Thank you for following. I guess Fischer would play slowly. It's something like rook e8, bishop d2, rook e6, bishop c3. Then we can bring this rook to the action from f2 pawn square, or just bring king in the center. Before I think should be played. After rook h6, we always have rook f2. This is not necessary, of course. We can even play bishop e3, I guess. And then play king d2, king d3, because king successfully controls penetration over c file. Even if we double, then we play king d3, rook f2, and control everything. Yeah, now I have another question. Could Fischer somehow play it better? I have feelings that he somehow could play here somewhere better than he did. Is this exchange win was a maximum in this position? Because look at this play by Lombardi. He takes with queen. ED was much more logical. Then after queen d5, queen c, he plays this move. Then after this, he plays this move. I mean, this is too much. I cannot play like this chess. Is this? And then he played this, and this was the maximum, really? At d5, Fischer found this move. This was like forced variation. This, bishop d8, and now he played bishop d2, bad move. I feel like my feelings tell me black has much better options somewhere than what Fischer choose here. But for some reason he don't analyze this deeper, or just don't show variations. Also, there was one question. He says that after ED, knight b4, bishop c4, he wanted to play bishop a5 here, but in my opinion, black has much more chances after take on c2, queen c2, and give this check. Because bishop d2 is bad. We exchange and forcing king d2, and then after queen g5 is big problems for white, because queen d2, then we check and take this bishop. Only move is king f2, then we play rook e8 with idea g6, bishop a5, or sacrifice here. After e3, bishop a5. Yes, but the point that he played bishop a5 with this idea, and he says that knight b4 is only move, but it's not only move. This is, of course, to compare what I just showed, bishop on c8. Is that variation is much better, but why not to play with knight d4 here, attacking his bishop? As I understood, I assume he means bishop g6, castle, knight d5, but this is very little advantage for black. I think I can play bishop f2, bishop f6, queen b3, rook d1. I mean, I'm not so sure about this. Even if I take and queen b3, it will be very hard to win. This is a second question, but much more questions I have, of course, in this position. Okay, let's say bishop d7, rook here, I guess. Knight b4, it's not the best continuation, in my opinion. Yeah, rook e3 will be a very unpleasant threat all the time, everywhere. But here is a critical. What about just simply develop this rook here with the same ideas? What is white's next move here? Where to put this queen? Also somewhere bishop h4, bishop g3 ideas, always the heir. c8, developing move. And I keep all my threats in the pocket. I'm not hurry. Bishop e2, I think simply loses after knight b4 this time. And bishop b5, bishop b4, yeah, this is disaster. So I guess we have to move this queen, but the question is where to move it. I feel like knight b4 was cheap. Maybe he actually blunders at knight b4 idea of Lombardi, underestimated, and he was a little bit ashamed to admit it in the book. I have such a feeling. I don't believe that he would not play rook c8 otherwise. Yeah, but look at Sylvain Chess, hello. Or Sylvain Chess. Just look, queen d5 move, queen b5, and now queen h5. What is this? I mean, looks so unnatural. I don't believe white can survive here. I'm sorry. I'm like 30 years in chess. I don't believe this. I don't want to believe this. For example, even g6 I can play, then I will give check here. I will give check, take. It's a minimum. So pawns will be equal, and you are undeveloped. Queen side is weak. You cannot use this anyhow. I don't know. It's like example. Maybe something else. Maybe knight e5, knight b4. I assume that white will not survive even probably this position. Will be very hard for them because this is a pin. Then this rook will join the party. I think lot of ways to increase the power. Thank you for following. Yes, exactly. So was rook c8? What do you think? Better or not? Levente, how are you doing? Yeah, but before engine, I want to make my conclusion in this position. I think rook c8 was much more. Because knight before, what leads to that endgame, g4 was good move. Rook c8 looks so tempting move. I don't know how I found power to stream today after last disaster night. I just love chess too much, probably. I was walking today evening and I decided to go back and show to people Fischer games. Hope you're not angry. Maybe you was expecting that I will destroy myself again with this chess puzzles I actually did before I started, but not too much. I'm just curious, what is next move here? Yeah, Michele, that's also of course. What is the next move white here? Don't understand here. Let's say queen b, but queen b3 it's also bishop e6. Queen e2 looks so ugly. I even don't want to analyze this move. Come on, first of all check and take. So now it's a threat, a huge threat. For example, bishop e2. I guess we are winning after knight b4 and knight b4. And minimum what we have, I guess, just take here. And bishop b5 looks totally lost. This, the attack, this, and the attack. To compare what is game, it's like 100 times better. Yeah, so bishop e2 is simply a blunder. Bishop d3 is probably same. We cannot move. Now it's queen's moves only here for white. So where we put it? In b3, minimum we have bishop e6 and take here, and pawns are equal, and we have free attack. So how, if Lombardi wanted to keep this pawn, right? He would continue greedily keep it. But how? Maybe king f2 was only move. Yes, yes. G4 was the only chance for him. John Twitch, move 15 by black. You mean instead rook c8? Which number it is? No, rook c8 is number 14. So which move 15? I don't understand. Maybe number 14 you mean here? York, how are you? Hello, man. How many beers did you have already? Knight is also possible, but I like this rook c8 because sometimes a threat is much more stronger than do it, than release it. Thank you for all. Zero beer. What's wrong with you? Too early. First chess, right? And on dessert you want beer. Yeah, 95 is also possible, of course. 95, but for some reason I don't want to open my cards immediately here. I guess Lombardi would go something like queen b3 here, maybe. b6 and queen e4. Somehow this queen survives here. But it's possible, yeah, then some check here, using the dis attacked. Yeah, very possible. Maybe queen e2 was here. Yeah, 3 is strong execution, exactly. I was trying to translate from Russian and I was, as usually, unable to do it, so. Rook c8. And the point that now queen e2, 5 and take here. f2. I don't know. Okay, after we invest some energy in this position, let's start engine for a few minutes to understand what he will say. Let's see. Botafloka, thank you for sub, man. Appreciate. You just came and instantly sub. Thank you, man. I don't remember at least your account before. So what computer says here? Night before, of course, he says what Fischer said. Fischer played. But for reason he don't see knight d5 move by white. It's quite weak again. Press on plus. Where is plus? This one. Ah, this one. Now we increased. Depth 18 out of 19. I would play rook c8 by like a weak human. Knight b4 still. Okay, let's see what he says here. Knight b4. Queen c1, bishop c1, bishop b5. Knight d5 is a good move. And bishop b5. This move. Bishop h4. d3. This happened in the game. He take on f1. Aha, now he decreased. Bishop d8, and I believe g4 is a good move here. Yeah, g4 first line. d4, rook c8, and king d1. Yeah. And here Lombardi played a big mistake. He played bishop d2, and after rook c8, Fischer managed to play a5, force e5, and then kick away this knight. Yeah, now it's much more winning than. But g4 was strong move here. Yeah, Twitter agrees. And why d2? King d2 is that king d3 also looks nice. We can play also modest move king d1, then bishop e3, and then go. Yeah, but king d2 also beautiful move, of course. For some reason, I didn't wanted to play. Bishop g5, we play f6 and f4 and king d3. Yeah. d4 was very strong move. So I guess knight b4 is not good reaction. Let's put rook c8. How he will defend? What is this? Only 0.6? Are you kidding me? I don't believe this. Aha, now he increased. Okay, let's give him some time here. I believe he will change to rook c8 by time. By the way, what means word mock? M-O-C-K. Any Russian speaking here? Can anybody translate to Russian what it means? Make fun. It's your style. Скандал будет. Mocked. Yeah, I often see this word in your streams, I guess, yes? Why so serious? You have usually this mock. I wanted to ask you before, but forget to ask. Don't reach. Издеваться. Okay, I understand. Sheikh Al-Bouri, thank you for sub. Are you a real Sheikh? Thank you. I remember your account name before. It means taking the piece out of someone. Mocked face. So it's okay. I understand. Mocked face. So instead of F word, you change it to M word, right? You can use F word, like F word face, right? Instead, you say mocked face. I'm so mocked up today. Last night I was so mocked up. Yeah, I will use this word. I like it. During interview. That is mocked. Idiosa, no, idiosa. Okay. Okay, this silly computer not changing his mind, but I guess I feel rook c8 is the strongest move here. So queen b3 probably only move by according to computer, but he will increase as evolution, I believe. Let's give him some time. -1 and 3 now. Okay, bishop e6. Human move. Queen a4. But how to survive even if look at this. Black just developed all his pieces. How it's not winning here? I mean, I cannot believe this. Don't be mocked. When they try to mock you, and you said, don't be mocked. Don't mock at me. Cockfish Lemon in depth 30 prefers rook a c8. You mean you checking it on your computer or you just want to make me happy? Still vain. On your comp, okay. I like your comp. I like your comp. All right. If 11 Stockfish says it's correct, yeah. He's mocking us, yeah? Don't mock with me. Mock, cool word. Maybe I also have to use it in the name of streams. Bobby Fischer mocked games. Mock way, yeah. Mood me. Dirk, bravo. Baadur was mocking before the mock. I need a couple of beers to be mocked. Completely mocked out. Okay. Let's see some more mocked games here. Oh, Fischer Reshevsky. We know that they always had tension between each other. Once Fischer declined to play Olympiad because they did not give him first board. I think he was 15 years old. Maybe it was Olympiad of 1 second, a 58 or something. I don't exactly remember which country it was, but I remember he made protest. Fischer was Alpha 0. All right, Fischer next game is a white against Samuel Reshevsky. Make it happen. I guess I will not make mistake this time. Have to write. Yes, it's simple. F key. Come on. Tell me, guys, that this is correct. This was their match in 1961 when they finished 5.5, 5.5. And I remember there was some millionaire woman organized this match. I forget her surname. Something on ski. Something on ski. Pogorsky or something like this. He organized, and then Fischer had some protest. For some reason, he wanted to postpone games or something, and they not agree, and then he stopped to play. Yeah, Pyatigorski, yeah? Pyatigorski? Yeah, okay. So this was New York. First I will write match. It was second game. New York. 1. Everything is correct, guys? Because my English, it sucks. My English is mocked up. Completely mocked. I love this word. Samuel Reshevsky. Jacqueline Petigors. Okay. Thank you. Completely mocked. Last night I was so mocked. Why so serious? You should join. We could make some fun. Stay if you have time. Let's make some fun here. What time is it for you? In which city you are? In New York? I forget. It should be for you like something like 2 or 3, right? Or 2 o'clock maybe. 2:30. Or how much? 11:30 East Coast. Okay. But I have been up since 7. Okay. See. How did you play the tennis? You 100% mocked day. Yes, I remember you told me you was going to play tennis, big tennis against some strong player. Play tennis. Tomorrow. Or or else I will never wake up. Yeah. I wanted to give you advice to take some cup of good beer, but if you have to play tennis, then probably it's not the best option. To be completely mocked before match. Okay, let's go to the game. What happened here? Fischer is white. He played e4, of course. If I drink beer, I will be banned. c5, knight 3, knight c6. I cannot concentrate on these games anymore. Yeah, Melkumian plays good tennis, yeah. Also, Grandmaster, Georgian Grandmaster Luka Paichadze. He's a very strong tennis player. Not professional, but something middle between beginner and professional. They sometimes played with Grant Melkumian. I guess in total, Luka was better. D4, CD, knight D4, G6 played here. Strong armature, yeah? Levent. Pasky was good at tennis too, yeah? How about me? I am quite okay in table tennis. I've never played the big tennis, so I'm completely mocked up there. But in ping pong, I am quite good. My brother is extremely strong. So G6. Reshevsky is not avoiding Marozzi setup here, but Fischer is not going for that. And Fischer says that Reshevsky prepared something against Marozzi setup. So let's see. Knight c3. Tennis looks easy, yeah. In the match game number 10, he played c4 here. And after knight f6, knight c3, knight d4, queen d4, d6, bishop e2, bishop g7, bishop e3, castle and queen d2. He get a more preferable position, he says. This is Fischer's words, and this is well-known theoretical line, by the way. But he goes to main line, bishop e3, knight f6, bishop e2. To compare to standard dragon, this pawn already on d6 and this pawn here. So we see that black economy tempo, they want to play d5 in one move if they have opportunity. He played bishop e2 here. He says that in number 4 and number 6 of match, games of match, he played bishop c4 here. And after castle, he played bishop b3. Yeah, and there was famous game between them, between Fischer and Reshevsky in 1958 US Championship, when Reshevsky played knight a5 here, and after e5, this famous sacrifice he missed here. King f7, because rook f7 is a knight e6, and we catch this queen, doesn't have squares. And after king f7, knight e6 anyway, and then been mated. And here in match, after bishop b3, he played knight g4 here. And after queen g4, knight d4. And white get a clear advantage, according to Fischer, after queen h4 here. Yes. But here, beginning of the match, Fischer choose a modest move, bishop e2. Not allow knight g4, and obviously he wants to go castle or also prepare f4 here. Now d5 would be a bad move according to Fischer because of bishop b5, a traditional standard strike on this c6 knight while king in the center. The bishop d7, ed, the same idea we saw in Lombardy, in game against Lombardy he showed. So obviously Reshevsky not blundered the pawn, he played castle. And now he played f4, aggressive move here. I would prefer probably castle or even knight b3, not allow d5. He played f4. And what he writes? He says that despite that Reshevsky was well-known theoretician in this dragon kind of systems, I was feeling that he was not in he did not know a new ideas or improvement of Alokhin attack. We remember one famous game between Alokhin and Botvinnik when it's ended by draw. Yeah, for example, if he would play a passive move castle, then he wanted to play d5, ed, and knight b4 with equal chances. Yes, why so serious? You know everything. Good education, man. John Twitch, bye bye. See you, man. So f4 he played with idea e5. d6 was played by Shevsky. There was game in 1957, so 4 years before this game, between Olafsson versus Bent Larsen, and Black in this game played d5, and after e5, knight e4, e take on e4, de take on c6, bc, and after queen d8, rook d8, bishop c4, got serious troubles. These 3 pawns are weak, not allow also bishop e6, not allow f6 break, then probably we connect rooks, and also this bishop is so strong. There's this square attacking here. Yeah, very strange why Larsen, such a strong player, played something like that, with 0 chances to win and suffering 100 moves for draw. Strange. d6 played by Reshevsky, much more logical move. Knight b3 by Fischer. He wants to play probably g4 and not allow some kind of tactics like knight g4, bishop g4, then maybe take, and this is hanging. So why he plays knight b3 first, also controlling this square. And bishop e6 by Reshevsky. And Fischer said that he was right to choose this line. This is an old and not dubious move here. And right continuation was in this position a5 without the a4. Пока, Ivanov. So white must not allow, of course, a4 and a3. So a4 they have to play. Now this knight is weakened. Also knight can penetrate to b4 and no more a3 move. So you have to remember this idea in a lot of Sicilian positions like play. And now bishop e6, because this knight is much more vulnerable on b3 now. And knight d4 would be a bad move here. In case of g4, knight b4 would be good move because no more a3 here. And white doesn't have better options than castle, rook c8, and then bishop c4. Hello, Yanar. And in case of bad move, knight d4, these positions, then queen b6, strong move, pinning this bishop, attacking this pawn. And after knight e6, sacrifice the exchange after queen e3. And knight f8, knight g4 with a strong attack of black. f2 is a threat with either queen f4, else bishop c3 is coming, knight f2 is idea. This is, of course, not good for white. But instead, Reshevsky played bishop e6 immediately. Yeah, exactly, Levente. And g4 now. d5 played by Reshevsky. Obviously, knight b4 is just silly move because a3 we just kick it away. So d5. This was Reshevsky's idea. f5 and bishop c8. He says that Lipnitsky. You see that how educated was Fischer. We know that when he was a kid, he was learning also Russian and other languages to read literature, different countries' literature, and he knew every game, almost every game. He says that he was recommended by Lipnitsky GF, and he says that it will be interesting to test this line. Probably Black's idea to provocate GF, then go and using this pawn like a weakness here. After ED, knight b4, then bishop f5. Yes, Lipnitsky, yeah. But EF probably would be good continuation here with very complex game. But GF, you know, it's a very risky continuation. Bishop c8 he played. ed, attacking the knight. Knight e4. Yes, yes, Levente. Oops, sane. Low. And now white is using that this pawn is not under attack, yeah, to compare that position. And he plays bishop f3, keeping this pawn alive, wants to play a3. And he said that this was a last idea of theory for that period. White is sacrificing the both pawns to keep alive this important central pawn. Yeah, there was famous game, I will show you, between Botvinnik, Alyoshin with white against Botvinnik in Nottingham 1936. Alyoshin in that period lost in 1935. He lost a title to Ave, so he was not champion for that moment. In 1937, he became again, and he played d6 here in this position. Botvinnik played good move queen d6 because ed leads to g5, then f6. So queen d6, using that after queen d6, this will be under attack. Alyoshin played bishop c5, queen f4, and after queen f4, rook f1 was played by Alyoshin, and look how they finished draw here. Queen h2, strong move, bishop b4 and knight g4. So black is sacrificing both knights here. And after bishop g4, white has to accept this, otherwise queen g3 is a very big threat here, following with bishop h6 or rook d8. So we have to accept, and after queen g3, we cannot go again here because of check, or here because of queen g4, and here rook f2, and it was ended by perpetual. Such a beautiful game. Also, he said that instead of d6, fg, elegant way to draw, exactly. The point was that it was objectively good, I guess. Botvinnik analyzed that position and he did not find better on both sides. So fg also was not a good direction here. After hg, bishop f3, and bishop g4 would be in this position. Bishop g4, knight g4. Now using that queen is busy with protect this pawn, but anyway we have to take it. g4, give this pawn. King f2, knight a1, rook a1, and rook c8 with a perfect play for black here. For example, if bishop d4, then rook c4 is very unpleasant in here. e5 is a threat. D, and then we take it. That's why Fischer played bishop f3 here. Position. gf. What else to play here? a3 is a threat, kick away the knight, and then white will just simply have a pawn up. So Reshevsky has to take it. And a3. We see the difference that in this position, why Lipnitz recommended gf, because if we take it now, play this, black has a chance to take it. Attacking here, also after rook c1, we can cement our position with bishop g6, close this file if necessary. The huge difference. Probably ef here would be good here. But Reshevsky follows game of between Alyoshin and Botvinnik and don't know about this line. Thank you, Zane. Appreciate. So gf was taken by Reshevsky, and now gf would be mistake. Yeah, we know bishop f5, but Fischer's idea to sacrifice this pawn too. So he plays a3. Reshevsky accepts another sacrifice. Bishop g2. We see that this bishop protects very important pawn. This knight will be on passive position. Appreciate, man. So yeah, AB would be a huge inaccuracy here because gf, and after queen f3 it seems like white will have a huge attack and after long castle, but bishop g4, strong move. First of all, not allow castle, Once it kick out, I don't know, somewhere here, then he will transfer this bishop here. And black is holding, then rook c8 and play. That's why bishop g2, this position. Bishop in the corner pocket. What a name. Thank you, man, for sub. Appreciate. I don't remember you. New guy, I guess. Welcome to our dirty community here. Don't pay much attention what we are talking here and what we are chatting. The main and chess. We are connected with chess lowing. Ah, you're Italian. Buonasera. Upsane. Ah, grazie, grazie. Thank you, Bishop. So this was Fischer's idea. Knight a6 and Queen d3. And exclamation mark by Fischer, and he said that this was improvement of Ney. There was a strong player Ney, and the point was that in d3 preparing, I guess, I assume long castle, and very important to control this square because after Queen e2, which looks more logical to have open file for rook here, bishop a5 would be very unpleasant. First of all, it will go to g6 and improve king's position. Also open this square for rook, which gives a very strong initiative here for black. And queen d3. Maybe even yeah. Maybe from it's the problem that they write it in Russian. I don't know. It was Ney or which Ney it is. Maybe you're right. Yeah. Thank you, JT. It could be a Rubik cube. So queen d3. We understand the idea behind this move. Yeah, control this square. And e6 played by Reshevsky. And he said that this was a best move in a really hard situation for Reshevsky. Yeah, he got in new position for him. And you know, it's always psychologically very hard to play against well-prepared opponent which has confidence after he invests so much time to prepare this line. And objectively also it's quite hard position. First thing what came to my mind here was that we need to improve this knight. What if we go with this knight here and then bring it to this? Of course it's very, very slow, but still with such a knight we cannot survive. Yes, but Fischer thinks that e6 was bad. Let's see what happened up 7. Let me see, maybe he comments this somehow. No, he said that instead of e6 he said, by the way, he's writing that so far they both playing fast here, but now Reshevsky started think very long. He had this illness that he was always in time troubles, like Grishuk nowadays. So in case of knight d7, long castle, knight e5, he wanted to play queen e2 here, and black would not have any perspective for counterplay. And white would have planned with h3 open up king side, and also bishop d4 kick away this knight and exchange this defender here. I do like this. This looks very artificial because this is developed knight. You again play with 2 moves for no reason instead of improve this knight. It was better, I guess, this plan. If e6 is bad, maybe knight c7 would be option. Long castle, knight e8. I like this idea. Probably white has to control this square with knight. Maybe h3, knight d6, and not immediately because then I'll take and then bishop f5, maybe knight d4. This would be critical position, and still it looks very, very dangerous for black. Of course, they are very, very much behind in development. Yeah, this position looks still very bad. So Reshevsky played e6 after long calculations, and long castle d6 would be a bad move because Reshevsky had in mind to play knight d5, obviously. And after bishop d5, he wanted to take ed, queen d5, rook e8, and now black has the initiative. You must avoid to give chances here like that. So long castle played by Fischer. Now Reshevsky plays more or less best move, knight d5, because ed would be worse. After h3, g3, and then bishop d4, and this attacked. This is weak, knight is far. We see that black king is in trouble, and king, white king, vice versa here. No any counter chances against it. Why he played knight d5. And Fischer not takes on d5 with knight or with bishop, but he plays h3 using that this is in right here. d3, of course, if black allows to open this file, game will be over very quick. So g3 is the only move. Rook g1. Obviously, Fischer is planning to take on with d5 with bishops, then take on g3, and maybe even sacrifice on g7 if necessary. Queen d6. A good move according to Fischer. He says that Fischer is defending, Reshevsky is defending like Top Gun here. Bishop d5 taken, ed. So we see the difference between white pieces and black pieces. And now Fischer, first time in the game, made mistake. He played natural move knight d5 here. And this move lets black breathe more easily. Nowadays, when he was writing this book, he would play, he was writing this book, I guess, in 1969. He would play bishop d4 here, of course. Good afternoon. Good afternoon for you, good evening for me, all names. Good afternoon means that you are probably for USA, I assume. Or from Latin America, okay. Olims, okay. Hola, amigo. So bishop d4 was very logical because we see that black's most active piece is this bishop. First of all, it's put pressure on diagonal, also covers king, protects king. So bishop d4, of course, would be the good move, and also attacking this pawn. Why he didn't play, no idea. In case of bishop d4, rook g3 check is possible here. And now king h8 would lead to queen d4, f6, and then rook f3, double rook here, or also knight e4 is a threat. This is a disaster. Tony is a man, thank you. Kan, hello. Are you Turkish? Merhaba. By your account name, you look like Turkish guy. I'm not sure. Teşekkür ederim. I will add for these words for any case, in case you are Turkish. If not, then probably you don't understand what I said. So bishop g7, then rook g1, attacking this bishop. Queen h6 check, then king b1. We see that this is a problem, this knight. It should be somewhere, I don't know, on d7, on c6. Try to close, but with such a knight you cannot survive. Bishop e6 would be the move to protect this pawn. Then he wanted take everything on d7. And queen g3, very unpleasant check here. King h8 is a move. Because f6, there would be queen d6, unpleasant move. This idea knight d5. After king knight d5 still. Black is in troubles here. Thank you for following, because rook d8 leads to queen e5. If we take still queen d5 here, this attacked, in g5, queen idea, knight will come. Yeah, practically this position is unholdable for black. And if king h6, he had this idea, check, then check here, then check here, and brings the knight. Yeah, knight e2. This is strictly domination. This knight will go to h5 and delivers a mate. Very hard to defend. Maybe knight c7 finally option, but I guess black cannot survive long time here. We can play knight f4, give check, knight g7 loses immediately after this. Probably this would be only move. Then we bring another knight. Yeah, position is hopeless. Check always, yeah. Bishop d4 was simple, logical continuation. For some reason, young 17 years old. Oh, when it was played, 1961, I guess, yeah? He was 18 years old. Young Fischer played knight d5 here. And after knight d5, king h8, immediately Reshevsky get rid from these ideas here. And bishop f4. This fancy covering. What means fancy? Or are you asking me if I'm gonna comment it or? Starts in around 3 minutes. No, I don't think so. The Blitz games. Probably I will not. Oh. Would you care to? I'm like in mood to watch this game, so I cannot change my mind now immediately. And I'm sure there must be a lot of streamers who will do it, so if you're interested, you can watch it. Problem. Now bishop f4 he played because bishop d4 he said it's not so strong anymore. Not because of f6, rook g3, queen d5, then rook g7 here, or even bishop f6 and it's crushing. But because of bishop d4, queen d4 and f6, and white doesn't have a force winning here. Bishop e6, knight 7 ideas. That's why he played bishop f4. Now we see that this strong bishop is staying alive. It would be nice, James Blunder. Would be nice to analyze the Blitz games. Okay, if you really want to see it with my annotations, I can do it, of course. But how much more interesting is than Fischer games? There's a question. But I can do, obviously. Okay, if you want after this game, I can switch for that. I can switch for that. Can we follow it on Lichess or only on Chess.com? A poll would be nice, okay. I don't have any idea how much people we have in chat. So, thank you for following. So, bishop f4, he played. Queen g6, finally Reshevsky connect his pieces over around king side. Not allow queen g3 move. And queen d2 played by Fischer here. And he missed up, he completely missed next black's continuations here. Vukovic, Grandmaster Vukovic, he offered suggested to play queen f3, but Fischer thinks that after bishop f5, rook g3 and queen c6, black is holding. All suddenly they have first red in the game, made in one here. And yeah, also this pin here. We see that after this natural knight d5, he complicated matters very much. That's why he played queen d2 here. And bishop h3. He says that Reshevsky very quickly eat this pawn. You don't need to offer this opportunity him twice. Rook g3, attacking bishop, attacking queen, and bishop g4. And with idea f5, h5, and completely cement this file here. Yes, penguin. Reshevsky had no fear, first, and secondly, it's objectively best continuation because what to do else? Rook g3, rook g1, just crushing. So you need to cover this file somehow. So it was braveness of desperation, most probably. And rook h1 was played. Maybe Fischer wants to have some ideas like knight e7, queen h2, attack here. Rook f e8 by Reshevsky and knight e3. Attacking the bishop. And now Reshevsky played a very bad move because he was in time troubles as usually, and he wants to simplify positions. He played queen e4 here. Queen f6 was tempting here, but it was refuting by a knight g4 move. We see that queen attacked here and here, made in one. So knight g4, queen b2, king d1, rook d8. That's why he takes with knight, not with rook, and now he has this rook d3 move. And we see the tragedy of black all the time remains because of this knight out of game completely. It's like 2 pieces up now for white. They have piece up and also this is out. But instead of queen e4, queen f6, he had a strong move here, f5, which was supporting this bishop here. And in case of queen h2, simply king g8, because the threat is knight g4, fg, rook g4, queen g4, and give mate. But king g8 and black is holding here. After rook g1, we can play also h5 here. But instead he played queen e4 in this move. And after this move, queen h2, probably he underestimated this move in time trouble. Turner was suggesting here to play bishop a5. Reshevsky played bishop e6, but unfortunately it was losing because of this variation. Rook g7, king g7, we eliminate this defender, and knight d4. And we see again knight is out of game, so it's like 2 pieces, rook and queen attacking versus king, queen here. Nothing to do. Queen g6, rook g1, queen e4, probably just mate in few moves. Check, check, rook g1, so no defend. Yeah, that's why Reshevsky played bishop e6 and rook g7. Who cares about this rook when we can eliminate such a strong defender here? Also, knight d2 was probably a move here. Knight d2. What was happened after knight d2? Where this queen goes? Gonna take because of mate. Why he simply don't play knight d2? Can anybody tell me? What was Reshevsky's idea after this? Simply resign, as I understand. You need to sacrifice queen for rook or what? Okay, knight d2 also was winning, but he played rook g7, king g7, queen h6 check, still completely winning. King h8 is getting mate in moves after check, and queen h7 mate. King g8 only move, but he simply played rook g1, g6. He take on g6, bring knight on d4, and we see that black's position completely collapsed. Rook d8, bishop e5. This whole game, white is like emphasizing and laugh at this mocked knight on a6, mocking this knight. I have a new word in my arsenal. A mock. I like that. Rook d7, control this square. Knight e6, rook e6. Knight g4 was played. Okay, this all by inertia of Reshevsky is definitely desperation here, hopeless. Queen g5 with either queen d8 and mate. And he give check. Was it first check in the game or not? I did not pay attention. Maybe it was first check. I'm not sure. Maybe second. h5, and after queen d8 he finally retired because mate and rook f8 just, yeah, a quite strong play by Fischer. If we close eyes on his mistake, knight d5 instead of bishop d4 idea. So what guys you want me to do? Continue more Fischer cool games, or we uh we like we can see blitz games between whom you said, Fedosev versus Firuja, yes? Or who is playing? More Fischer games. I like Fischer game. Fischer game, more Fischer. Yeah, everybody for Fischer. The mock, let's mock those, please play. Okay, I want to a little bit respect, you know, at least little bit, Clemente. I never listened to him. Clemente, I do it if you really want. I don't know what I can comment Blitz games, but I can do it, of course. Everyone is analyzing those games. Yes, then why we do have to do it? I hope you did not don't hear this terrible sound outside. Okay, let's see. Let's see 1 second. If I can follow leeches, I will do it then. Probably we have to go watch broadcast or where? Uh, Current games or broadcast? Ah, here it is. Is it started or not? Where I have to go? I don't. Yeah, or what? I clicked something wrong. Maybe they did not start it. You can see on the top left what I can see. Chapter 1. What? One first game, 2 members. It's not started, Levent, I guess. Are you sure that it started? But why I don't see them? Go main page. Okay, leeches.org. Here's the main page. Then what we do? Ah, here. Naroditsky Artemiev. They're playing right now. Naroditsky Artemiev also will be very interesting match. It's Blitz bullet match. So now what I do? I'm on main page. I don't see where is it. Exactly grid match. I should not go to broadcast or what? I don't see really. I don't see this. Where is these games? Do you see the page or not? On left side there is not any mention of this match. It was in broadcast only. I go to broadcast again. Starts at 17:00 UTC. What time is it? Range. Guys, I don't see. Sorry, I don't see. So maybe they start later or what? Evente. Let's see what's going on in this match. Naroditsky versus Artemiev. Is it some friendly match or? No, JT, don't change the title to Chesscom because I'm using leeches. They will delete me from streamers list again if we do it.
Yes. Yes. So
FM Janos is commenting. Yeah, we don't need to go to the stream, of course. So find it. I cannot go to Chesscom from leeches title. Come on. Okay, I just skip it. Keep it. Let's continue. Let's just continue. Continue Fischer. I need to change title and so on. Yeah. So I don't understand when will be match between Artemiev, not Artemiev, Fedosiev versus Firuja. What time is the show? Okay, let's see another game from the match. So it was we've seen a second game. Now we will see a fifth game. That would and it was played in not in New York. This time it was played in Los Angeles. We did to LA. Something like crazy. What is doing? This computer really mocked. Quite this. Let's go. Hello, the Spuds. Larry Evans, as an introduction of this game, he says that in this probably one of the most dramatic game of the match, Fischer was trying to win the pawn, and he makes a series of the beautiful moves and original combinations. In within 10 moves from number 19 till number 29, there will be a tactical fight. It was not easy to understand who is winning until Reshevsky not get exchange up. In following an interesting end game, Fischer is trying to make draw, and again his alliance will be a clock. In time trouble, Reshevsky trying to still keep his missing advantage. He choose an aggressive plan in where Fischer finds a refutation or hole. Then they exchange the punches, and Reshevsky and then Fischer energetically realize the advance of pawns in the king side. Okay, let's see after this introduction what happens here, like movie. Hello, Inky, how are you doing? I started learning chess last night from a Bobby Fischer book. The stream seemed fun. Okay. So d4, knight f6. Thank you for following, not following, for cheer even, yeah? And binning gold. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. So d4, knight f6, c4 was played, e6, knight e3, d5, d5. It was one of the favorite continuation of Reshevsky. So we know that another lines are bishop g5 or knight f3, even bishop f4, but he takes. No, he takes with knight here. He played like this because this was, too well-known theory, and it looked boring for Fischer. So he's trying to find something more alive here. Knight f3 was played by Reshevsky. It's funny that he says that this leads to like, you know, too early. This move is too early and leads to equal position, but we know that this is very complex. This is very complex position, very popular in high level also. Castles and bishop goes to c4, castle, and so on. Oh, Mircea the best with raiding party of 32. Thank you very much. Yeah, appreciate, man. Welcome. How are you doing? Yeah, welcome all. We are watching cool games of Fischer here. Reshevsky played a simple move, knight f3, c5, e3, and we see that this is a Tarrasch system. It can happen in Tarrasch system, and also after cd-ed it can be transposed to the like Caro-Kann-Panov system. Thank you for following. Hey, yeah, Franz, how are you? Knight c6 was played, bishop d3. Botvinnik also liked this setup with white against Tarrasch. And also he played bishop c4 too. Two moves. Thank you for following. Bishop e7 by Fischer. He shows some of the game that it has interest. There was one game of this d-ed, d6, and h4 white played here. Look at this. We can play it like in bullet or blitz, these kind of ideas. Of course, castle, bishop g7, bishop e4, it's more like positional here. But h4, funny move. Now h6 would be probably a good continuation to meet after h5 with g5. Not allow these chances after h5 here. Knight db4 was played. Hello, Moom Shadow. So knight db4, bishop g5, attacking this queen. And after knight d3, check, queen d3, queen a5 was played with either knight d4 and take it. King f1 white played, so they want to keep this rook here. And after h6 bad move, hg, hg, and rook h8 played, bishop h8, then gf. Look at this, what's going on here. Give check here, bishop g7 and d5. Close this rank for the queen. It was played in 1962, one of the game. White quickly win this. But here he plays bishop e7. Much more classical continuation. Castle, castle, a3. Reshevsky probably wants to build up a setup with bishop c2, queen d3, then provoke g6 or knight f6 and play bishop g5 or bishop h6 and then connect rooks, rook b1, rook e1. This is the ideal setup in position, but not so easy to do. ED. So Fischer says that this position is natural for Tarrasch defense. White is more free, the pieces are more free, and they have chances for attack. But at the same time, they must not forget about the isolated pawn on d4. And chances are equal, he said. He played knight f6 here. Try to put pressure here. He says that it was possible also bishop d7 and shows one of the game between Robert Byrne versus Pisgeier from US Championship 1963. And after bishop d7, queen c2 was played. This position. I guess queen c2 is inaccuracy. I would play bishop c2 in my, I guess. First of all, after rook c8 with queen d3 attacking here, also roll this square. And it's not so easy to defend with black this idea. Knight f6, bishop b5. Usually, if in such positions white are managed to make this setup, they have advantage usually. I guess queen c2 is absolutely incorrect move here. Create opposition. Bishop c2 obviously was a good continuation. Well, it's logical after a3. But c2 here attacking this pawn. G6, bishop h6. G6 was not forced. I can play, I guess, knight f6 here. This queen c2, bishop 3 is not so good. I play rook c8 and kick this queen away to e2 and wasting of time. Yes. That bishop d7, g6. I don't like this move. Weakening that so easily. Rook e8 played. Knight e4. Rook e8. Queen e2. 5 he played here by Bisgayer. Knight bishop f6. Also was played. Don't say the names, but e6. That interesting move. The idea is that after knight d5, queen d5, queen e2, with either bishop e4 and also take here. Still, black is sacrificing, so bishop b7, check, bishop e4, knight d4. How else white can defend this pawn? And time g6 idea, probably impossible. Bishop e4, knight d4, then bishop d5, otherwise knight d4 leads to queen. Knight s. We take here. After d5, we don't take here. d5 and attacked here, but f6 leads to equal position. After rook e1, we d5, then put bishop, disturb these pawns, rook can be activated. So equal. But in the game, he played knight f6. Again, after b6, I guess, yeah, b6, and now bishop c2 is not so strong because we place the bishop here, control the square with tempo. 1 second, after b6, what about if we play queen c2 here? Why we're obliged to take? This looks a little bit dubious move for me, because I guess I have queen c2. What we do? We cannot play g6 because we take and then bishop e4, win this knight. What is Fischer idea here? Knight f6, I guess, protect here maybe. But this looks quite odd for me. First side. Also bishop g5 is possible here now. If we take, I guess we can take, then check here, or first rook d1. This also looks quite dubious. You are following? Okay, let's back to the game. Knight f6 finally was played. Bishop c2. He says that bishop e3 with following in e2 and rook d1 is more flexible. So bishop c2, what happens here? b6, queen d3. Both are doing their plan. Bishop b7. Bishop goes to g5 with direct idea take. We made here. g6. Of course, we have to close this diagonal. Rook goes to 1. Rook e8 and h4 he played here. And Fischer says that Evans was criticized this move. He says that he don't see how white can improve their position here. That as they have to create some chances, threats on the king side before until black will consolidate and create attack on d4 pawn. So I don't understand. It's already runs this much and we cannot find it on lichess. Or... Okay, so h4. This is very interesting game here. Rook c8 was played. So all pieces are in the game for black. Rook c1 played. Knight d5. Knight goes to e4. And f5 here. Fischer says that I knew that this was a terrible positional mistake, but he was only counting for knight c3, bishop g5, hg, and knight c3 here. Queen c3 now bad move because of knight e5, attacking this flag is winning here. Not winning, but big advantage. So bc would be the move, and knight f5 with the threat of bishop f3. This is hangs. Also this blocked. You cannot follow on leeches. That's said. But he missed completely that after knight c3, bishop g5, Shevsky can play with knight here. Knight goes to f4, attacking the queen and attacking pawn. Queen e3. In case of queen g3, there would be knight h5, very unpleasant intermediate move, attacking here, and then we take this pawn. Why queen e3? Queen d4. What else? We need to compensate these weaknesses of black squares, at least with pawn. And knight b5. A very precise calculation by Reshevsky. Look at these knights. One on g5, one on b5. Rooks are essentially on the fork. He says that it was practically almost only decision to exchange and these queens, trade the queens and sacrifice exchange here. He tag on e3 here. Thank you for follows. He says that after the game, they was analyzing this position with Reshevsky, and queen d5 was they was looking here. After queen f4, queen d5. Knight d4 was bad move. The idea attack here, also here, because of bishop e4 strong idea here. After rook was yes f3 will be just made into rook c1, queen c1, because c1 is mistake to a fork and take this queen. Queen c1 was the move. Again, bishop d5 is a mistake because of knight e2. Take this one. Why queen c1 strong? After queen 1, fe, queen e7. There is no defense this pawn. Yeah, can you imagine how many things they was calculating? Could Fischer calculate here? In case of queen b5, more or less best move, there would be knight e6 here. So far, pawns are equal, but king is hopelessly weak here. After knight e6, queen b2. White will keep advantage even after queen d5 with idea knight d4 because of knight c7 move here. After knight c7, rook e1, queen f7 attacking the knight, and simply knight e6. White has an advantage obviously because they have attack on the king. Black squares are weak. h5 is coming. Yeah. In this position, in case of queen d5, if we play queen b2, at least suffering for a pawn, then queen h6 strong move. Beside the knight b4. What is more important that queen controls this rook, so we cannot take rook e6 and take because of protected. This was actually suggested by Reshevsky, and it's very hard to defend here. For example, knight a5. Not allow bishop b3, what was threat, yeah? If we take, then mate. Knight a5, control this square and also attack here. Then would be bishop f5, strong move. Look at this move. Now rook c1, gf loses because rook penetrates on c7 with decisive threats, according to Fischer. Let me see this variation once. Rook c1, rook 1, gf, rook c7. Mate in idea. If we give check, probably f4. After 6, queen h7 and 8, yeah. Beautiful. And in case of gf, in f6 also loses because of knight g5 attacking here, also this attacked. Here is a pin. In case of gf, That would be rook b1 move. And after queen h8, because queen c3, simply rook e3. Queen h8, only square to protect this mate here. After h8, there would be check on g5, king f7, check on f5. Look at this. White does not allow to breeze here for black. Now queen f6 loses to mate in 2. Check and 7. So king g8 is only move. And after king g8, rook e3. Without the rook g3 here. And after rook c3, only move. Knight g5. Look at this. No stop. Attack, no stop. So this rook attacked. Queen f7 is a threat. And after rook f8, rook e8 with following mate. There is no defense. Yeah, it was only move, queen h8. Rook e8 will be mate. Queen g7 will be mate into defense. Arnito, hello. How are you doing? Welcome. Yeah, that was a crazy line here. That's why Fischer, or he calculated something like that, or he just felt during by intuition that it will be a mistake. That's why he takes on e3 and inflicates position a little bit. And knight g2 strong move here. In case of knight d5, will be simply knight d6 attacking same time 3 piece here. Knight g2, this was his idea. King g2 we have to take, knight d4 check, and bishop e4. This was what Reshevsky calculated. And now, very interesting comment by Fischer. He says that this game was played in Beverly Hilton Hotel in Los Angeles, and I will never forget the very loud reaction of spectators after this move. And they was thinking that both players are blundering like one after another. It was like they was hearing in the hall that Fischer is losing, Reshevsky is winning, Reshevsky is losing, Fischer is winning. Yeah, but a nice atmosphere. Thank you for follow, guys. And only after few moves it became clear the real situation on the board. So bishop e4 he take, only move, yes, because f here we just take on d4 and piece up. So bishop e4, knight e4, knight b5, and knight f6 check. This is what white hold position. King f7, knight e8, rook e8. Of course, black has to keep one rook on the board. For example, rook c1 would lead to immediately disaster. We played a4, pick away this knight, take this square, and then penetrate. Yeah, attacking here, attacking here. Also, king is passive. Black will not survive here. That's why he played rook e8 only move. What a game. And a4 anyway. There was inaccuracy to play rook d1 without the rook d7 because of rook c7, and then knight will go to d5. Very beautiful position. If black will manage to do it, white has to be in trouble because king f6, and we push these pawns forward. So white has to be very quick with decisions. a4, concrete situation. Knight d6, rook c7, and king f6 strong move by Fischer. He has to keep rook on the board because rook e7, rook e1 looks very bad for black. After knight e8, we can exchange them, penetrate to a8, and create very unpleasant threats here. Why he decided to sacrifice one pawn. Rook e c1 strong move by Reshevsky. We need to keep control over c file. Rook a7 or rook h7 would be inaccuracy because of rook c8, and this rook will be activating. I don't know, can we agree or interesting? Rook e2 would be move here. Probably he would play h6, g5. White will answer. Who knows? Very hard to assist. But he plays rook e c1. He wants to take later one of this pawn and not allow activation of rook. h6. Fischer gives this pawn to have these pawns which can potentially become very, very strong, dangerous. So Krzyzewski has to take, obviously, e7. So far, it's 5 pawns versus 4, knight versus rook. So it's by material, it's not enough for black, but this is concrete position. Knight e4 he played. He wants to activate rook over d file and then push and support these pawns, I guess. Rook a6 by Krzyzewski. And rook d8 strong move. Rook b8 was hopeless because of rook c6. Not only take here, but also with threat on e6. Game is over very quick. The question why he didn't play rook b7. What do you think, guys? Probably he did not want it. He should play knight c5, knight a4 maybe. But then knight is trapped in the corner, I guess. No moves for it. 8 and 1. Let me understand, because rook b7 looks much more natural. Anyway, probably he will play rook d8. After rook c2, he wants to play rook d6 here. Otherwise, rook d2 with counter chances. So rook a6, rook d8, exclamation mark by Fischer. Only chance to activate his rook and give some tactical problems for king. It's now clear that black has to play for draw, he said. Rook c2. Inaccuracy, according to Fischer, because Reshevsky was in time trouble. And he says that only way... Yeah, hello Phoenix, how are you doing? Only way to continue to play for victory was rook b6 here. After rook d2 check, or of course not king f3 because of it. King g1 would be the option. g5, ag, ag. Thank you for following. And for example, rook 1 c6 would be mistake probably because of gh and rook e6, king g5. After rook g6, h5, rook h6, g4, activity of black pieces would compensate material here. Cool. And that's why he played ag, not played, I mean variation ag, ag. And now rook 1 c6. But not a5 because of g4, a6, and knight g5. Or suddenly black creates mating threats. For a7 is loses after check, h1 is a mate, after king f1 is a g3, and then mate here. Why Krzyzewski should play, if he would go for this position, with rook 1 c6 attacking this pawn. And after g4, rook e6, b5, not allow king h4, king g3, with move rook h6 without a mate here. And f4, maybe black would hold position here. But this was a chance to win. Probably after ef, king f4, wants to give some checks here. f3 is a threat, not sure what's going on. a5, f3 we cannot play because of check. How to make draw? Check, d2 we go here. King e1. Go check, we go here. If check, we go here. How black hold this position? a5. Let me. This is a position. Maybe not g5 actually. Knight g5 is the option to knight f3. And if check, then king g7, knight. Yeah, there is a good chance. Knight g5 is looks. Maybe instead of a5, rook b5 or something. Or rook g6. Not allow this. G5 is still possible, but rook b5, now knight f6 possible. Because of check, and we take it. Very hard in the game. Maybe rook c2 is a move. Is that a knight d2, knight f3? Interesting. Like always have chances here because the king is very passive and this pawn is so strong. But Reshevsky should play like that. According to Fischer, he plays passive move rook c2 here. And rook d3 was the move. Rook b6 he takes. In case of rook e2, he would place rook on b3, protecting here, and then push this pawn, and only white can lose this game. So rook b6, rook e3, a5. Yeah, Penguin, you can do it because I will upload it on YouTube, and then later you can stop it, of course. That's why I'm uploading. f4 was played here. And here, Reshevsky made bad move. He was in strong time trouble or zeitnot. And he played rook f2, and he did not have time to realize that this rook after will stop a pawn. And after rook f2, even draw will be problematic for white. Instead, he should go a6, f3 check, f1. Now king h2 is a huge mistake because of rook e2 check, and black is winning. Yes, after rook e2, we take a7, we go e1, go a8, and we give mate in 2 after 8 on f2. So after f3, king f1 would be only move, control this square, but rook d3 is idea mate here. Hello, go. After king e1, what else? Because rook c1, rook d2, then d2, knight g3, and mate on g2. You want to control this square. After king e1, there would be rook e3 check, f1, and rook d3 with a draw. King g1 would be dangerous probably because of rook d1, king h2, 2. Rook f2, knight f2. White has to be careful not to lose this game. a7, there will be rook a1. So rook b3, then try to cover this file. Rook d7 move. Rook f3. White in time to play this move. The king g7, rook f2, rook a7. It would be a drawish. So b4, b5, put rook here, tie up rook here, and then king goes center and will be draw. That Levski played rook f2 with idea that after he takes, this pawn will go. But Fischer, of course, accepted. King f2 only move, and rook e4 strong move here. This is what Reshevsky blunder. This move. b4 was played here. Why not b3, by the way? b3. Then he wanted to play rook e5 anyway. So rook e4, b4, and rook e3 played. At king, want to put it here and then push king and pawns forward. a6 was played. Rook goes to a3. So white pawns are stopped. If white wants to push them forward, they need to play b5, rook b7, a7, b6, rook b8, which is quite slow. So rook c6. Of course, after b5 and this, black is not waiting. Then they can also immediately push these pawns from here and then give check g3, f3. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then give mate on a1 as a minimum. Maybe also king f5, e5, e4 is. Why Reshevsky played rook c6? Try to keep this pin. And this was the last move, number 40, before the control, and it will be decisive mistake according to Fischer. Anyway, was best chance to play b5 here. And with idea after g5 to play some variations like rook b8 and then b6, b7 here. For example, if we go g4, probably b6 is possible. Rook a6 and b7, and there is no chance to take because of this. I guess Fischer would hide king on e5 for that reason. b5, g5, let's say rook b8, g5. Now b6 is bad with b6, no check. Then rook e8 maybe here. Maybe it was okay for white. This pawn is go. I guess white was okay here. Yeah, but he played rook c6 for some reason. d5. Thank you for follow. hg, hg, e5, g4. We see that white cannot move pawns. This was this move he wrote and put in envelope, and game was adjourned. Rook c8 was played. b6 loses because we play rook a6, and after b7 we give check and rook b2 here. In case of rook c1, this position, he wanted to play a g3 check, king g1, because king g2 will be check on a2, king h3, then sorry, king f3, f5, mate here. h3 will be same. So after f1 would be the option. Oh, king g1, then rook a2. This was his idea. Rook cross this pawn. Rook b1, f3, b6. This was his plan. Check on g2, f1, then rook h2. Mate in 1 is a threat. Only move is king e1, because king e1 we give check. Take this rook and move with check. e1 would be only option, but check. Then we take on b1, a7 on, and after f2, e8, 1, black is winning. So there will be no perpetual white king. Where, yeah. 1 second. What if in this position instead of rook b1, he would play b6? I guess he would take rook b1. What is this line? a8, b7, rook b8. Probably white are losing here. 3 pawns are too much. If necessary, we'll support this pawn 5 and go with king. I guess it's winning. Okay. But after g4, he played rook c8 with direct idea b6, b7. And what happened? King f5, b6, and g3. This was analyzed, so Reshevsky never had chances. King e1 was played. Because king g2 loses after check, king g1 and f3. There is a mate, or we lost this pawn. So king e1 was played. Rook a1 check. King e2, g2, and rook f8 check. Crazy game. In case of rook g8, we simply take rook a6, b7, rook b6, take this pawn on b8 and promote. That's why he gives check on 8. King e4, check on f4, king f4, b7 with either go with check. Now, Fischer played g1 was a little bit too hurry, and luckily it's still winning. And immediately was winning king e4 here instead. Because b8, it's rook a2 check, and then g1 with mate. King e4, how he did not find this? No defense. That he played g1, b8, king f5, queen f8. He was lucky that there is no perpetual. After king e4, he played queen a8, because queen f4 will be queen d4, and we connect pieces. So 3, he would go into play king e5, queen c3, because queen h5 simply king d6 and no more checks. Queen c3 only check, and then queen d4, d3, simply king d5, check. So queen g5, so That's why Levski played a8 at king d4. Black has to be careful to avoid perpetual. And now he played queen d8. In case of queen d8, he wanted to play king e4, yeah? Queen e8, then queen e5, queen e6, king b4. No more checks, only here, and then we change these queens. That's why after queen e4, he played queen d8 check here. And after king e4, because after king 7 he has some checks, so wants to have in c5 move. He give check on d3, king c5. He give check on d3, goes to d6, goes check on d2, goes to e5, in b2, and king 5. Finally, Reshevsky resigned because after queen b5 we go king f6. After queen b2, e5. No more checks because b6 queen control. Yeah, that was very, very tough game. Really dramatical for Reshevsky. With another game between them also very, very tough. All games been very, very tough. Let me check. Maybe we can find it on match on. Maybe chess.com don't allow to do it. Why we cannot? Why cannot follow this? Maybe we can actually. 1 second. We can. All right. Second, we can. So which game is running right now? Thank you for following. I don't understand which game is right now. This one. Yeah, time is running, so this one. Do you see the board, guys? Here this. Let me see the opening. Who is white here? White is Firuja. Fish. Firuja versus Vladislav. Oh, 1 second. Big Fish is. I thought it's Artemio, but no, it's. I forget. Izokil. You are following. Fedosev. Vladimir Fedosev. Like, yeah. Of course. Knight f3, knight f6. Which is this 5 minutes plus 1 second game or what? Okay, this is a solid setup by Big Fish. And it's known like there's different ways to play. b3 they play, knight b2 also play, b3, cd is an old move, knight e5, knight plays knight, bishop is. Idea is to take here, of course, develop knight, cd, bishop d5. This would be very passive position, like after. Oh, bishop d5 was knight f3, 4. Because this is knight c3, pleasant move. Before follow. Knight e4 not allows knight c3 here. The idea. 2. Keep pressure. I guess he wants to exchange this knight. Play e4, c. Knight 3. e5 because a very unpleasant move. Not this, or maybe. Also, b1, bishop. So Fedoshev decides to start actions in the center until Ruja is not fully developed. e4. e4 is bad because of knight and take. Oh, bishop c4, important. Oh, rook e1. Why not rook d1 for this? I guess Fedoshev would play e5 here. Of d5. ed, he plays e8, or he will play like this. Is very ample, right? Which are from one pin goes to an, yeah. White's game a bit unnatural. It also allows knight c5 move. B. Going on here. Firuja probably or blunder or calculated this. Game problems with a mic. You don't hear me? I don't think that I have bad connection. It's like it's the same connection as it was before, I guess. Changed. You don't hear me again? Okay, so I need to fix this, otherwise it's just senseless to continue this stream. I don't know what to do, guys. Okay, guys, I probably make break now, and then later we can do it. Because I cannot do it. I mean, I need to fix this. I really need to fix this. Okay, guys, I will stop streaming right now, and later we'll continue probably Fischer. Okay. See you guys.